Hey YouTube and Patreon, once again, this is Prometheus giving you another offensive scheme. This is going to be out of the New York Giants playbook. There's a lot of really great formations in here, but this is just me mixing things up a little bit and exploring some I form and some strong form with gun. So one of the things you can do to access I form and strong formations when you're playing online but still using shotgun is you can actually go ahead and put in a running back at one of your positions. So we could have a running back sub, basically have a running back in the slot position. Or a wide out position to be able to get access to this. So I'm going to put the running back in slot because this particular running back, I have Barkley. He's a very good, fast running back. He's got good catching ability. So he's just as good as a receiver that we'd have on this team. So let's go ahead and take a look at basically our audibles we're going to be looking at. We have double slants, inside zone, 4 verticals, and play action go slot. Very unique play, not in every single playbook. The play action go slot has got a nice deep crosser that gets like 35 yards down the field. So this will blow up coverages with that slot running back. If you want to also have your running back, you can put him on the outside position. But this is nice to have, if you've got a very fast running back, or if you wanted to have a more elite wide receiver to take up this spot. But we're going to remove slants, kind of a generic play, and one of the great plays that this formation has is angle smash. This is going to allow you to attack your opponent with a smash concept off the left. You've also got a stock out, which is nice to have, and then you have an angle route that you can catch your opponent off guard with that. We'll show a couple different ways you can run that to convert a lot of first downs. I'm going to leave the inside zone. There's a read option. There's also like an RPO, but we're going to leave the inside zone. And then 4 verticals, we're going to swap it out for one of my favorite plays in the game, and it's this play, which is the shark halfback wheel. It's got that wonderful wheel route by the running back. It's good against man matching principles, and then you can do multiple different things to mess your opponent up. Now, out of the huddle with this, I'm going to call probably the red zone scissors play. This is a nice smash concept off the opposite side, and I also can use a slant streak concept, or I can do a comeback streak drag concept off to the left, or I can use the SC dig if I want to. But if I really wanted to go ahead and access like a dig pivot concept, I can do that dig pivot concept out of the play action go slot. So that's another way we can run this particular play, just kind of keep our opponent honest. So let's go ahead and take a look at our auto audibles too. So the iForm Pro is another audible you're going to be able to switch into, and we're going to swap out 2 of the 3 plays in the audibles. I'm going to leave slants in this particular play. Inside zone must swap out. There's a lot of good running plays in this. Halfback power is something I've used before in the past, but I think the play that's a little bit more efficient is a 26 duo. The blocking is real glitchy. It gets to the next level, and it's very, very effective. The other play we're going to swap out, typically it's going to be a play that's going to be like bench. We're going to swap that out for this play, which is going to be Texas. You're still going to have a bench concept off to the left, but now you're also going to have a fullback angle route, which is really, really glitchy. And if you run it correctly, it's going to be very effective for you. I'm going to leave the play action scissors. There's a couple different ways I can run that. And then let's go and take a look at the strong formation. We have basically one formation we're going to be able to access, which is going to be the H slot. We've got slants. We're going to leave that, and then we have basically these halfback, or the halfback dive, flanker dig. You can use that dig concept as another way to attack your opponent. And then we have the play action post shot. I found that there's a better play for play action, and it's this play, which is going to be the play action fullback flat. The difference is that I've got that slant route actually gets a little bit more flush. So he's going to get above the coverages but under the coverages and give me a better read. He's not going to get so vertical, where the defensive backs that are playing deep blues can actually play the ball more effectively. So I like that particular route a little bit better. So we're going to switch that out. So out of the huddle, probably what I'm going to call out of the huddle is going to be the complement play to this scheme, which is going to be the red zone scissors. And we're going to run this against random nickel defenses and kind of go from there. All All right, so basically with this play, I can run it stock. One of the things I like to do if I want to try to focus on the left side is I'm going to go ahead and put myself a smash concept. So what I like to do is I like to streak up my tight end and do a smoke route, and that gives me a very fast read with Booker in the corner route. And the primary reason is that it gives me a fast read with the defensive back over, and gives me a fast read whether it's man or zone coverage. So really what I'm looking for, I know this route's going to clear things out. And if I get man coverages, when this guy comes down, this route by the running back, even with bad running backs like Booker, they're going to get separation and get underneath the coverages, and they're generally going against a linebacker who's not going to be able to cover that well. So I know I'm going to hit that because this guy's clearing out the zone. He's not going to play that corner route for me. And then I've also got, if your opponent uses it with this dude, I've got an in route that I can hit, and then I've got a deep comeback route that I can come to too if I want to go ahead and effectively go after my opponent with that. So let's go ahead and streak this guy up. Another thing you can do too to really effectively screw up your opponent is you can do double streaks on the inside and then have a smoke route off to the right and then a slant. So if it's man coverages, you can actually hit this guy right over the middle. Now I forced it over there. That was actually a bad read because the defender was floating in front of it. But that's one of the things you can do with this play is make an adjustment like this, and then this is your smart read. See how there's nobody in the area? That gives you a fast read that you can use against your opponent. And a lot of times in zones, that will get cleared out too. So we're going to go ahead and set this up again. And here's your running back route. That can get you some huge plays like that. So another concept you can set up, and I won't use it this frequently on this, but I can streak up this guy and do a drag route off to the back side, and that's going to give me essentially a one-on-one opportunity if I read man across the board. So this is really hard to stop. You've got a guy that runs a lot of man coverages against you. This is a really good setup against a lot of man coverages. Because what happens is he's going to have to chase this running back. He's going to get separation. I should have had a smoke route to give myself a faster read. I just didn't make that adjustment. But I've also got this drag route that's going to come across and beat man coverages. But you can see how this guy gets double teamed. This route is clearing things out, and I've got the deep comeback route, this gap positioning, where I can get a good 14 or 15 yards. So you can see right there I'm picking up some pretty easy yards. So angle smash, similar type of a concept. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do basically a smoke route off the left right there. And I'm just going to go high-low. And if the defender floats up with the corner route, I'm going to go ahead and make my progression from there. So that's why I like to have angle smash. It gives me a corner route and a smoke route read. It's very fast to read. And I'm going to pick up 5 or 6 yards. So clearly it's not a route that you want to go on a third and long type of situation, but it's a route that you want to use to keep your opponent honest. If the defender comes down and plays that ball, you would just go ahead and throw the guy over the top, meaning that you got man coverage. We can also work the outsides on the other side too, but let's just go ahead and see if we get this one more time. All right, see how the guy comes biting down? And then basically you want to wait. The depth of this route is a little bit deeper than some of the other smash concept I'm using, so I'm just feeling a little bit anxious about throwing this ball. So let's go and see if we get that one-on-one. We don't. But you've also got this deep comeback route in the backside if you feel like you can hit it. Now, there's another thing you can do with this that it's going to kind of screw your opponent up. You can hot route the out route with the tight end and put this guy Shepard on a smoke, and then you can watch both sides. But look what happens to the tight end route. He gets into like a sweet part of the zone where you can actually hit the sideline once again, and you still have another route off the left. So that's another thing that you can do to just keep your opponent honest, or just attacking him on the outside. Here's the angle route. There you go. All right, so I had to wait for that a little bit. It gets a little bit more depth, and you don't want to anticipate the throw early, or you're going to get yourself in trouble. You can leave the tight end route on just an out that actually gets really good leverage, and then it comes up with really good blocking with the deep comeback route. So that's one of the reasons why I do like hitting those little outs, because you can get one-play touchdowns out like that. I typically don't throw the angle route with the running back. It's just something I don't do. If you got a guy that's trying to shoot a lot of these things, you can streak the tight end over the top, and sometimes that'll actually turn into a huge play for you too. So that's another adjustment I'll make. If I got a guy that's playing down in the box and is trying to catch like draggers and stuff like that, you can set him up for a big play over the middle if you just streak him up. So that's just another adjustment. Inside zone is inside zone. You typically, when you get a stacked box like this, you can see I've got 6 against 7. Not a smart thing to do. You want to wait until you open up the box a little bit. You don't have 6 guys down in the box. So basically here. Okay, let's see here. We got numbers here, and it's telling us to go back. So you just want to cut it back because you've got the green to the backside. So just cut it back. You're more likely to go ahead and hit that. Okay, so halfback, the shark halfback wheel. This play I run a lot. A lot of times what I do is I run it like so. I drag up my tight end, I streak up my slot receiver, and then I have the running back route. Now my first read is going to be the running back route because a lot of times he doesn't get covered against any type of man matching principles, and it'll give you a quick completion. And he gets out real flush. He doesn't. It's not like one of those type of situations where he's like curving up like a lot of those other wheel routes. It's just a little bit different. Now I like to streak up my slot receiver and have basically a drag route on the backside, because then it provides me another man read on the backside. So if he chases a running back, I've got basically the tight end that's going to be going on the backside, making it very difficult for him. And it also helps me clear out. Another zone with Galloway. So I've got basically a read with a deep comeback route. So I'm working these deep comeback routes. I think that people just don't use them enough in the game plans, and I like using them. I like to have them, and they're going to give you 15 yards every time you actually get a completion. So first read is going to be this wheel route, and just go ahead and take that. The post route I never really look to. So I'm usually trying to hit the flats. I've got, conceptually a streak route, and then I have basically this drag concept. Here you go. So if he's sleeping, he puts cover 3 out there. You can go and hit the seam. So I typically don't look to those areas, but if you see some guy that's running a lot of cover 3 against you, or you see him running cover 3, and like you can see, this is like a cover 6 type shell. Where he's got a buzz guy coming down. I'm just going to go ahead and wait. And because this guy kind of preoccupies that route, I'm just going to throw this. And the better throw would have been outside leverage, not inside towards the defender. But you can see how this turned into a one-play touchdown with a really good running back. Last play is going to be a play action go slots. 2 different ways to run this. This is probably going to be the primary way I'm going to run it. I want to go ahead and once again do a drag with a deep comeback route, but I'm also going to go ahead and do an out with the running back. Now the out with the running back is going to be my first read. I want my opponent to defend the running back on the out route, but also that's going to give me an easy read to see if I can hit the guy over the top with Barkley. So if it's man coverages. All right, so I kind of forced that in there, and that was a crazy completion. But you want to try to basically see if you can hit that route. So let's just go ahead and set it up like this is our setup once again. Deep comeback route. I've got a drag route underneath it that's going to basically pull zone down and let me know I've got man or zone coverage, and I have the out. You've got this route that you can check down to. Once again, same concept. But the difference now is that you're using these same concepts, but now you've got this deep crosser that your opponent has to defend against. And this is going to essentially give you an opportunity for a huge completion down the field. So you might want to have your better wide receiver in that type of situation and put the running back on the outside. But let's just go and take a look at this. We got the ball right now on the 35-yard line. And you just wait until he gets close to the numbers. You throw the ball. And you can see right here, I'm catching the ball on the 25-yard line. So that is like a 50-yard gainer right there. So you got basically 10, 20, 30, 40, you're getting a good 40 yards, 50 yards on that. And if you get the animation, you can definitely go ahead and get some pretty good yards. So that's what I like about that particular play. And let's go and show you just another way to set this up. This is just another concept that you can use with this particular play. So I'm going to whip up my running back. I'm going to take my outside running back and put him on a wheel route. So you got your flat wheel route concept off to the right. So everybody's seen stuff like that. They know what that is. But we're going to do basically a concept where we're going to give ourselves an opportunity to hit our opponent off the left. Now I should have lowballed that and threw that quicker. I took a peek at the whip, at the wheel flat route. But we want to take a look at the whip route first and hit that against man matching principles. I want to pick up 10 yards off. If I could pick up 10 yards off an easy whip, I'll do that all day. So once again, set that up, whip, and you could see that the dig route was open. I just got a block shed right there. So okay, it looks like pressure is going to be coming in. Safety's rolling down. And I'm throwing that a little bit early just so I can show you that you can hit that over the top. So if the defender is, if there's no defender playing the whip route, or if he chases the whip route, you have basically the dig route over the top of it. So you've got this little whip. See how this guy kind of stays outside leverage. When I see outside leverage like that, I typically think that I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to be, he's playing an outside defender, and he's going to play this ball. But what that does is that it's going to mean that this dig route over the top is going to get, he's going to get an easy completion. And if you let this thing carry a little bit, you can get over the middle of the field, and you might be able to rack that thing. On the backside, is you got this route was wide open too, so you could take a peek at that. So set this up once again. Okay, and I'm just forcing it in there. That really wasn't a good decision. What you could do is you could complement the route complements here with having a man beater and then also a zone beater off to the right side. So with Barkley, you've got the cross, you've got the whip in route. But if you want to try to force it over here, you could basically go and have a deep comeback route. So the defender actually pulled up, means that route underneath was wide open. So I'm using okay, so here you go. That's just another area that you can go against your opponent if he's using man coverages. But I wanted to try to focus on this whip concept more than anything else. I think that's it's good to have in your back pocket. Okay, so here we go. So what I'll show you why I made a very fast progression, got rid of it. It was just the perfect defense that I finally got. Is I'm watching these guys right here. He shoots out. This guy comes up into yellow zone, meaning that he's going to be in the passing lane. This whip route is going to be shut down. So I'm going to go ahead and look to the back side. And because this guy has to play kind of an up zone, basically what I've got is this guy's coming outside. So what you could do if you wanted to, you could streak this guy up. This will clear out the yellow zone, and you can put this guy on an out route, and that will actually open this up even better for you, give you an easier passing lane with the running back route. But I'm just trying to keep these adjustments pretty simple for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next formation. So we're going to take a look at slants. And how I like to run slants is the following. I like to do a deep comeback route, and then I like to go ahead and streak up my inside receiver, which is Ingram. And my first progression is going to be this underneath route with the slant. I'm just trying to chip away 5 or 7 yards against my opponent. If I get more, I get more. But it's just a fast read, and all I'm doing is looking for the zone with Ingram, making sure that there's no defender that floats into that zone. And if there isn't, I'm going to go ahead and complete that. I'll possession catch it because I'm typically going to get popped. But if I can pick up 5 yards, it's a good thing. Streak. Now I do a deep comeback route on the back side because that gives me another area. So actually the right read, and I just fat thumbed that, was the running back underneath. So we're going to go ahead and set this up once again. And you can see how this guy just kicks up and picks up another 10 yards for you. So once again, you're playing two different areas. You're playing the flats against your opponent, and you've got a streak right over the middle. You can peek at the streak with the tight end. Sometimes he might be available for you, but if he gets matched, you know that you can come back to that deep comeback route because it's matching principles. Most people are not going to be running hybrid coverages against you. So you just want to go and set it up like this. And, you know, basically take a peek at the tight end. If the tight end gets carried, and that means that's going to be cleared out for you, you can get that little completion. Duo is a really good play that you can have in your scheme. It gets really glitchy blocking on the inside. Look at this blocking. That's one of the best holes I've seen in a game in a long time. And Pittsburgh is it's a stout defense too. You can flip it to the other side too. Okay, so you can see how that the edge defender came down. We're going to go back to this side. It's pretty much the same. You know, you got 8 guys in the box, but look at the blocking. The blocking's really good. We're not talking about an outstanding line with the New York Giants, but the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is actually it's pretty good. So we got a nice weak box, and we can flip it to the backside, and it works once again kind of the same way. So you just go and hit it, and you can get some really big yardage off of this, and this is a nice little thing to have in your back pocket. Texas, let's go ahead and see if I can set this up correctly. All right, so basically what you want to do is you want to flip this play so that the wheel route goes in the backside. Now your man read is going to be Galloway, and what you do is you're going to basically take a peek at Galloway to see if you get a man read, and then you've got basically you have the underneath route that will show if it's available to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this guy right here, and if I got defenders floating out, I'm going to go ahead and check underneath and just hit this little route with a fullback. Now remember, this is going to be your wide receiver, your running back number 1. If he's a good receiver, you're going to be able to catch that and get a nice little completion for 7 yards. So very fast. You just make one adjustment and you just snap the ball and you just throw underneath in the seam, and it's a very difficult area to go ahead and stop. So we're going to flip the play. Do a wheel route. You've also got the wheel on the back side, so now you've got 2 different seams he's got to defend, and that becomes very annoying for him. So we're going to flip this guy. Got a wheel. If we get man coverage, looks like we do. Go ahead and just pop that that curl route. You know, just go ahead and take it. I used to like to run a lot of out routes in previous Maddens, but I just don't think that the 10-yard routes are the same. Another option too is you can actually streak up your outside running back, and that could actually get, that can give you another area that you can do. My preference is to go with the just flip it to the weak side. So let's go ahead and flip this play. And do a wheel on the weak side. This is not something that's normally going to happen, but you've also got, if he's sleeping in the tight end and you've got a fast tight end like Ingram, you could actually complete that for a big play too. So, but you're not necessarily going to see that, but that's another area that you can look to with this particular play. Scissors, I would run a couple different ways. I like that corner route by the tight end. You could essentially go and set something up like this, where you give yourself kind of a fast read and then check it down and then turn it back up. You can run the play stock if you want to. Another way you can run this particular play is the following. You can get rid of that route right there with the corner route of the tight end, and you can use the play action. And this is going to basically give yourself an opportunity to hit that. So I threw that late, and that's the reason I got picked off. So we're going to go ahead and just kill the play action so I don't get tied into play action. I get a better read on it. And oof. So you can see how that's an opportunity for you if you want to, and you can preoccupy your guy. What you could do is do a deep comeback route, like so. And if you can get it, so that's just not enough arm by Daniel Jones, but you can see how that, like that principle, you can hit against your opponent for big yards over the top. But you have to do deep comeback route to basically get that play to work correctly. Go with a corner flat concept. Here you go. All right, so he's not going to catch that. He's just it's just not a good throw for Daniel Jones to make. Let's just go back to this scissors concept and go with a wheel concept right here. Get rid of the play action and just kind of take a look at this. So if you can throw this a little bit quicker. Okay, so that's another thing you can look to, is that you can look to the slant route. What you could do is look to the wheel route to see if that's available first, and then make your progressions from there. And with the wheel route, that clears out the route off to the right. So this is, the play action scissors route play is not something I normally jump into. If you want to go with a streak route, that's actually something you consider too. And we can try doing the corner route. And then you've got basically a race. Now, the problem with that route concept is that could be usered away. So that's why it's important to have your stuff to the outside. So let's go and take a look at basically the slant strong play. This play I kept in. I thought about taking out. I might actually still take it out. But what I like to do is streak up my one guy and streak up my running back route. And once again, I'm just doing a streak slant concept, fast progression. Just go ahead and hit that as quickly as possible. That'd be our next read. You've also got this route, and you want to low ball this route against man coverages, but you've got the streak route by the fullback, which is your running back number one, that you can hit with this concept. So this is not, I'm not saying, I just leave this in because I just don't want to make too many audible adjustments, and there's other plays, but here's if your defender doesn't play that correctly, you can hit that streak, and that's going to catch him off guard, and you've got the streak slant concept on the backside. Halfback dive is halfback dive. Nothing spectacular about this, but it's nice to have in your back pocket. You can see the push right there. Really good push. So if I'm picking up 10 yards a pop, I'll take that all day. Flanker dive. What I like to do with this is if I can do a double wheel off the right side, I'll watch the linebackers, and if they float up, I'm going to go and throw that and pick up 5 or 6 yards. You could do a wing route with a wheel route. Your fast read, your hot read is going to be this tight end. So you can see that was a very aggressive blitz, and I got it off to the tight end, so that was my fast hot read. I could have went above that and went after the dig route, but I probably was not going to complete that. And here's it's kind of a makeshift screen that you got there. You can go ahead and do 2 wings just to get those guys out a little bit further out. And that might be a little bit more consistent for you too. Right, so that's where that was a whole play. So there was a middle defender that was playing a yellow zone, and that actually is kind of like those type of plays that you could get picked off. So I wouldn't necessarily say that you probably want to go with a hot read with that. We're going to do a double wing right here. See how this guy picks it off. So you got to wait. You got to wait until he gets past those hash marks and gets closer to the numbers to throw that. So set this up like that. Guys float up. Got yourself a makeshift screen out here. with the fullback where you can pick some pretty good yards, and now you're stretching your opponent off on two sides. Now, what you could do is take away that dig route and do a deep comeback route and set the play up like this. Now you can look to the seam right away. If seam's not available to you because you've got one-on-one coverage, now you've got the deep comeback route and you got the route underneath it. So I would say this is probably the more consistent way to run this particular scheme, because you're not going to get yourself in trouble, and you got yourself an outside play that you can have your kind of a screen off to the right, and then basically have a deep comeback route off to the left. So we're going to set this up once again. Let's take a peek at Shepard, see if I can hit him. Nope. So we're going to do the deep comeback route, pick up more of the guaranteed yards, or I'm picking up 15 yards or so. And the last play that we're going to look at this is going to be the play action flanker flats, the play action fullback flat. I don't like the fullback going to the flat. I like to have him go to the opposite side. That gives me kind of like a mesh concept I can use against my opponent. But this is what I'm opening up right here, is this route right here over the middle. So I need to low ball that so that ball didn't sail. I'm going to leave the play action in here, but if you got a guy that's using a lot of heavy blitzes, you probably want to cancel that out so that you don't get tied up into any kind of crazy animations. And you want to try to go and complete that. So once again, I didn't low ball it, and that's why that came off, and I'm trying to force it into that route. Smart read is to check everything down underneath. Let's see, here we go. Low ball. There you go. See how they low ball it, and I was able to go and complete it. So there's your big play that you can hit against your opponent. So this is your scheme. You got your inside zones. You got your duos, halfback dives, slants. Different types of slant formations, and then you've got all these other plays. So this is how I'm going to run the Giants formation, guys. So if you want more information, or if you want me to break down some more stuff in the Giants playbook, let me know. Once again, this is Prometheus. Thanks for your support.